Welcome to practice. It's still a little bit warm here. We're going to begin laying down and a blanket on the long edge underneath the shoulder blade. Put my fan on. And when you adjust your equipment, make sure that it's supporting the back of your neck, feeling long. You might need another cushion under your head or a blanket. It shouldn't feel like it's forcing an uncomfortable shape into your neck to reach the floor. You adjust at what height you've got the blanket, but definitely not under the lower back, just the shoulder blade part of your body. Legs are hip width, hip parallel. Bring your attention to the feeling of each breath in your ribs. Notice if you're holding some tension from your day so far. Maybe it's your lower back, so see if you can find those feelings of tension, important, natural tension in the body. But let go of what you don't need just now. Good. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together now and the knees out wide. So if for some reason this is too strong, go back to what we were just doing with the legs. Baddha Konasana, with the added support to open the ribs. Feel how that support is pressing the shoulder blades against your back ribs. The effect of widening, broadening the front torso. There's extra room for the breath. A feeling of openness in the body. A feeling of preparedness. Good. And then take your arms by your ears or overhead, palms up, and let's give a really big stretch for the shoulder blades. The armpits, the length of the arm. Nice. And then gently bring your arms in. And we're going to be very careful about spine as we roll to the right side of the blanket and come up into an all fours position. Hold the shoulder blade against your back rib and lift the breastbone. So you're in a back bend shape and noticing how that feels. Good. And bring the toes together. Take your hips back towards your heels for forward virasana. A couple more deep breaths and really lengthening the spine. And back up into your all fours position and shoulder blades against the back rib and lift the breastbone. Looking forward for a deep breath and then forward virasana. Good, and then one more, all forward. Shoulder blades to the back ribs, lifting the breastbone. Good. Take the knees out a little bit wider now. Forward virasana. And we're going to hold this for a few breaths and really walk the hands forward. Pressing the shoulder blades to the back ribs. Broadening the front rib. Projecting the breastbone forward, the top of the head forward, but the shoulder blades back. And enjoying each breath. We would bring the elbows to the floor. Lift your torso, walk your knees back a little. We're going to try and have the elbows about shoulder width and open the chest towards the front of the leg. Aware of the sound of each breath, feeling of each breath. Let your front torso relax longer and broader. Feel the shape of the back torso, particularly between the shoulder blades. Good. Now we're going to keep the elbows on the floor and come into a modified plank position. So take your knees back as far as you need to bring your hips towards but not onto the floor. So you're a straight line from your knees through your hips to your shoulders. We're going to lift the core of the body, draw the shoulder blades back. Feeling the flow of breath. Nicely done. And then lower down your whole torso onto the floor. Beautiful. We're going to take the arms beside the body. Turn your face to one cheek and let yourself splat to really be broad and relaxed onto the floor. Good. Bring your head onto your forehead so you're symmetrical. Lift your head and look forward. Lift your arms off the floor. Lift the palms. Reach back with the fingers. Beautiful. And then lowering down. Turn your face to the other side and let yourself flat. Back to center. Lifting the head. Lifting the torso. Lifting the arms. Reaching back with your fingertips. Beautiful. Feeling your back body engage. Squeeze the buttock muscle. Good. You can lift your legs up a little off the floor. Beautiful. Laying back down. Turn back your head to the first side and flat. Feeling the flow of breath. Hmm. Good. Back to center. And we lift the head, lift the breastbone, look forward, lift the arms, palms up, reach back with your fingertips, lift your feet. Lovely. And then we're going to take the head to the left side and just flat. Good. Lift yourself back up onto your elbows. Let's try lifting up into that modified plank pose again. Nice thing about that, you can just lift as much of your body as you need to get the feeling of the core working. So that might just be your tummy, or maybe you can lift your pelvis off the floor, so just on your knees. Good, and then lowering back down. And this time we're going to start to press into the hands and lift the elbows up a little. Now you only want to lift so high that you don't crunch your lower back. So feel a long curve of the spine. You can take your hands further forward to decrease the back bend, or you can walk them back towards you to increase the back bend. Let's engage the buttock muscles. Squeeze them towards center, towards your middle back. Lifting the breastbone, drawing the shoulder blades back. Beautiful. And we're going to lay ourselves down nice and long. Good. Put your hands under your shoulders. Press up into all fours. Shoulder blade pressing forward to the back rib, lifting the breastbone, looking forward. Tuck the toes under. And downward facing dog pose. How beautiful does that feel? Lift the heels high. Finding the flow of the breath. Feel particularly between the shoulder blades, pressing the shoulder blades forward, letting the chest open. Good. Now we're going to walk the right knee to the right wrist and place the knee down. And we're going to flatten the top of the left foot onto the floor. So depending on your knee, you might keep your right heel in a line with your right knee and the hip. Or if you're comfortable with the movement of bringing the right foot forward, then scoot that forward. Good. And we want to settle the hips as close to the floor as you can. Your left leg is going back. If it would be helpful to have, I've doubled that long blanket over, a support like that under your right sit bone, then put that in and see if it helps you feel a little more relaxed or just makes a bit more room for you. And we'll lift up onto the fingertips for this preparation for Ekapada Rajkapotanasana. Pigeon pose. You know how pigeons puff their chest? That's the feeling here. We're trying to bring the shoulder blades forward, get that feeling of the breastbone lifting and the front ribs expanding, and then find your breath. Sitting with ease and pride in your posture, even though there might be some awkwardness. You can stretch back through your left leg. Nice work. And then we're going to change sides. So step your right leg back and your left knee to your left wrist. So you might be keeping your heel, left heel in line with your hip and your knee. So there's less twist to the knee. Or bringing the left foot towards the right hand. We're going to slide back the right leg as far as you can go to bring your hip closer to the floor. And put support in underneath the left sit bone if you feel that it's really helping you sit with a little more ease. Up onto the fingertips. Press the top of your foot down, lift your kneecap, lifting your breastbone, more the shoulder blades back. Feeling the length of the spine, the proud pigeon in your body, the pressing forward of the shoulder blades, the lifting of the breastbone, the looking up, and that big space for the breath. Beautiful. Release that side, come back into all fours, and then downward facing dog pose. And here we're letting the spine just hang down. So we've got the knees a little bit bent and the heels off the floor. Really looking at that opening of the armpits, the chest, the upper body, and feeling that long breath. Okay, now we're going to step the left foot just a little forward so that you can press the heel down, maybe onto the floor or closer to the floor, so the left leg is very straight. And just let the rest of the body relax around that big stretch. Good. And then step that foot back a little bit, keep it bent, and then step your right foot forward, just a little, just a foot forward. And then press your heel and try to straighten the right leg. Just rest of the body relaxed around that work. Breathing. Taking a nice calm approach. Good. And then releasing that one. Now we're going to step the right foot forward towards the hands. So if you feel like you can't reach to do that, bring the knees to the floor, the hands off the floor, and then the right foot forward. Ooh. So we're in a lunge position. But actually what we want is a short lunge. So we've got both heels on the floor. Good. Bend your front leg, press your back heel, and find that shape we've been working on in your upper back. Press the shoulder blades forward, lift the breastbone. Nice work. Now we're going to really take the work into the leg and lift the arms up by your side, palms up, looking forward. Nice. Now we're going to start to straighten the front leg. So if that makes you wobbly, by all means, put your hands back down on the floor, but see if you can do it with the arms. Even if it doesn't go all the way straight, but you feel that big stretch. That would be perfect. Good. And we're going to lift all the way up, step forward, balance on your right leg, and bring your left leg in front. Let's bring the hands in front of the heart and press them so that you can activate again the shoulder blade forward. We're going to lift the left knee out in front. Let the hip be very relaxed and make some figure 8 shapes with your knee in front of you. Just swinging the leg. And then the other direction. Nice work. Take the arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Step your right foot back so we're in that short lunge position. So your front leg is bent but the back heel on the floor. And we've got the feet from side to side about hip width. Good, really feeling the feet on the floor. Good, activating the spine, the shoulder blades, the rib cage, feeling the flow of your breath. Really taking the work into your feet and your legs and lift your arms if that's safe. Good, and we'll take the shoulder blades up. Sorry, not the shoulder blades, the palms. Shoulder blades are going down. Palms up, looking forward, breathing deeply. And then start to try and straighten your front leg. If it makes you wobbly, put your hands back down. Oh, nice work. Good. Now we're going to lift up, step forward, bring the right leg in front, bring the hands in front of the heart. And nice and loose. Find a figure 8 shape with your right knee. Let your lower leg hang down, nice and relaxed on your knee, and then the other direction. Pressing the hands so the shoulder blades are active towards the ribs. Beautiful. Tadasana. Urdhva-hasana. Uttanasana. Big step back with the right foot. Left foot. Downward facing dog pose. Now we're going to try and press both the heels down to the floor. Feel the activation of your upper spine. So the shoulder blades pressing to the back ribs and the rib cage expanding at the front of the body, making space for the lungs and the heart. Press the fingerprints. Let your head just hang down and press your heels, lift your kneecaps, lift your sit bones. Nice work. Bring the knees to the floor, hands off the floor, and we'll step forward with the right foot. And this time a long lunge. We take the weight into the feet. Good. We're going to bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Now, if you're having trouble reaching down to the floor there, try putting your elbow, your right elbow on your right knee, left hand on your left hip. Otherwise, we've got the right hand on the floor. Now, all positions want to try and roll the left hip back. So if your hand is on the floor, bend the hips closer to the floor. Good. Left hip rolling back. And we're going to take the left arm by the left ear and reach. Good. Try to bring the shoulder blades forward. Open the heart. Nice work. Let's put both hands back down on the floor and we'll step forward, lift up and balance on the right foot. Hands in front of the heart. Good. Lift your left knee up in front. And this time we're going to point the toes and then draw a big circle with your toe, big toe. And then the other direction. Beautiful. Release, Tadasana, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Big lunge position. Step the right foot back. Oh. Beautiful. Put the left hand on the inside of the left foot. If it doesn't reach, put the left elbow onto your left knee. Right hand on your hip. Press your back heel, find your feet. If your hand's down on the floor, try and drop the hips closer to the floor. So bend the left knee, if that's doable. And we're going to reach the right arm by the right ear. Opening the heart towards the ceiling, trying to press the shoulder blades forward to the back ribs, finding the breath. Beautiful. Both hands back down onto the floor. So we're facing forward. We're going to step forward and lift up, standing onto the left leg. Oh. Hands in front of the heart. Press them. Shoulder blades forward. Point the right toe. And a big circle with the right foot. And a big circle in the other direction. Remember, balance is 99% wobbling. Alrighty. We're going to take Tadasana, Uttanasana. Beautiful. We're going to take a big step back with the right foot. Big step back with the left foot, downward facing dog pose. Really press the heel. Finding yourself in this position where you can lengthen, where you can expand, where you can draw a more satisfying breath. Feel strong in your hands and your legs, flexible in your feet. Nice work. Gently knees to the floor, and we're going to sit with the feet out to the right side and take your blanket, make it a nice little pie shape, kind of like a yoga block. And we're going to sit the left sit bone up on that blanket with the feet out to the right. Now, I know this is knee dependent, but you're trying to make the neatest package that your body will do without pain in your knee. So if it feels fine for your knees, bring your feet in really close to your right hip. Good. We're going to take the left arm, rotate the shoulder forward and the palm up to the ceiling, and reach the left arm behind you. So your left hand comes out somewhere near your right rib. And then see if you can grab hold of a part of your right arm. So if you can hold above your elbow, that's ideal, but you might just be holding near to your wrist. So now you've got a right hand a little impeded in its movement, but we're going to try and shuffle the right hand across to the left side of your body again. So what you've done is used your left forearm to press the back ribs towards the front rib and let the front rib be broad. And then you keep wiggling your fingers of your right hand as far as you can to help you turn and looking over your left shoulder. Notice the awkwardness of the arm body. I'm hearing you. And just letting that be. Mm. Good. And then really relax. And we're going to swap sides and put the blanket under the right sit bone. So Bharadvajasana, leg as best suits your knees. So they might be out in front of you with your legs straighter. But making the tidiest package of your legs that you can and feeling that you're even both sides of your spine. Good. And then we're going to do the arm thing again, which is complicated. Roll your right shoulder forward. So internal rotation of the right shoulder, and the palm faces up to the ceiling then. Okay, and then we take that arm behind and reach the right hand. So it comes out somewhere over near your left rib. Okay, and then where can you grab hold of your left hand or arm with your right hand? Maybe above the elbow, that would be ideal, but it gives you more room to move. You might not reach. So wherever you can reach, and then you've got a captured left hand. Try to get that across your body, the front of your body, towards your right thigh. We really are in a bind. Ah. Feel how the right forearm is easing the back ribs forward. So feel the front rib expand. Give yourself space. Beautiful. And then turning to look over your right shoulder and use your left hand as much as you can to turn. Mm. Oh. Feeling the flow of breath. Letting the body be awkward. Not in pain, but awkward. Unfamiliar territory. Beautiful. And then release. And we're going to lay down now. Let's take the blanket and put underneath the hip for bamboo pose. And just remembering the blanket is to tip the tailbone up to help you have room to balance your legs. So you can always make it thicker. Maybe a different position under the pelvis would help you more. So see if you can arrange that. And then we'll just balance the legs. So that you're not working too hard in your core or your lower back. And if you feel that you are working hard here, put your feet on the floor. Give yourself your core some time to relax. You can try cactus arms or even just resting your hands on your belly if you like, or your arms by your side, put the palms up. Hmm. A bit of cooling. And then releasing and take happy baby pose. We're going to take the knees as wide as they'll go. Feel your lower back press into the floor. And that lovely broadening of the belly. Mm. Left leg starting to straighten. And with each breath, observing whether there's a little more room to move in. Try not to roll to the left. Try to keep your lower back resting evenly. Good, and then releasing that leg, or not releasing, sorry, just bending that leg, I should say, and starting to straighten the right. Noticing the resistance, and just checking, is it real or perceived? Good, and then releasing that leg. We'll take the feet onto the floor now, arms out from the shoulders. Lift the hips and swing them left and knees go right. Now, if you need to, you could be passive here, letting yourself enjoy the gifts of the posture. If you'd like that extra work for the core of the body, hover your feet and your knees just off the floor. And either way, try to keep your left shoulder blade on the floor, and you can turn your head to look left. And even if the core of the body is engaged, keep a sense of being relaxed in your upper body. Good awareness at the core of the body. So when you lift your leg, you feel all of that muscular support that comes from awareness. Good, and back to center. Lift the hips, swing them right, and knees go left. Again, you choose. You could be passive here. Just let the legs relax. Turn to look over your right shoulder, shoulder blade stay on the floor. Or engage the core of your body and hover your feet and your knees just without using your neck. And aware of the full core of the body, lifting back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. And rocking a little bit from side to side. By all means, lay out for your own relaxation. like me, you need to finish your breakfast now. Rolling to your right side. When you're ready, come up to sitting. Hands in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.